Hello and welcome to my first ever unboxing video. This is an unboxing video for my book, which is due to come out on the 7th of November, but the pre-publication copies have just arrived for me to look at and I'm very excited. So I wanted to share that moment and record it. So here we go. This is my office and here is the box with my exciting new books in it. So let's cut it open. There we go. And get rid of the extra paper that is under here. Here it is. Here is my book. Ta-da! Here is my first ever book, which I'm incredibly excited about. Referring Expressions, Pragmatics and Style, Reference and Beyond. Okay, let's just take a bit of a closer look at it. So, it looks beautiful. The image on the front is the Metropole Parasol from Seville in Spain, which is the image I chose for the front cover because I spent a glorious week in Seville working on this book, and particularly working on the key chapter that is extra and new material beyond the ideas that I had discussed in my PhD thesis. So I had a beautiful week sitting in Seville with this gorgeous blue sky, writing my book, drinking coffee, walking around the city, writing some more. So that's one of the reasons why I chose to have this image on the front cover. Another reason is that it's kind of abstract. If you look at it from different angles, it's going to look different. And that's kind of a metaphor for some of the arguments that I build in the book. Okay, so opening up the book itself. So published by Cambridge. And oops, there we go, very exciting. And a very important page for me is the dedication page. So this is dedicated to my mum, Marion. So she died before I was able to complete my PhD thesis, and this work is a developed version of that. And this week is actually 10 years since her funeral, so it's quite a kind of poignant time. And she continues to inspire me every day. And I hope she'd be proud. Okay, I'm not going to go through it page by page, don't worry, but just to give you a little taster, lots of people say, oh, what's your book about? And it's quite hard to explain because it is fairly technical. But here is the first page of the contents list. So I'm all about reference, how we refer to things, and I take a relevance theory perspective. So we've got chapters on that. I've got a chapter on definite descriptions. This is one of the key new chapters, so that's not published anywhere else and is not in my PhD thesis. And that's where I look at some really fun examples, including kind of journalistic epithets, where they refer to carrots as things like the popular orange vegetables, and so on. So there's some quite fun examples in that chapter. Chapter 5 is all about pronouns. What do pronouns mean? What do they actually encode? How do we process them? How do they function? And how can they be used to create stylistic effects? Chapter 6 is probably the most closely related to my PhD thesis. It's about when we drop things and how we fill those gaps. And then chapter 7 is all about demonstratives, this and that, and how we might choose to refer to something as this and that rather than the, what that communicates, how we process it, and what it tells us about what we think about the thing we are referring to. Then the last little bit I want to think about and show you is two very important pages, the acknowledgement pages. So many people have had such an influence on me, and I know a lot of them would never read the book, wouldn't expect them to, and it's also quite expensive. So those acknowledgements count nonetheless. All the people referred to and mentioned here are very important, very influential, and have been a huge help over the time when I've been writing this book, even if they haven't influenced it directly. And so many people that it needs to go over the page onto this page. So some more acknowledgements there. Okay, so I'm very proud, I'm very happy, I'm very excited, and if anybody made it this far through the video, I hope you share my excitement. Thank you. Bye.